a year, 10 months. So August 2024 will make it 2 years.
August 2024, making it 2 years. And wow, that's so great. Thank you so much for coming to share from your well of knowledge. To my left here, I would begin with Mr. Adelot. You are the managing director of Chalaman Co. Limited. Yeah. So how did it come about? What's Chalaman Co. Limited? What do you do in Chalaman?
Okay, once again, thanks for this opportunity. Chalaman Co. Limited is a little form of workshop that came about from passion. We always say it's a passion. Since from childhood, whenever I see them doing designing craftiness, so that's what pushed me to the passion. And also my dad was an engineer. So due to how I was working, it gave me now the passion on how to study on this, and due to that, that's how this workshop came about.
Thank you so much, Adelot. It's more of an induced passion, something you got from your father. So it's so great there. How is it? For how many years now has it been in existence?
It has been in existence since 2004, but I came into it since 2018.
Okay, that's it's been founded by your father. That's since 2004, and you took over in 2018. Wow, and it's really been a great journey. I'm sure you have a lot of things you want to pour out there to the audience. So just stay put. Mr. Adelot is here for you. Mr. Bokanye Philip, CEO founder of Intertech. What can you tell us about Intertech, Mr. Philip?
Intertech full meaning stands for integrity technology. Intertech simply was an IT support, computer sales, that sort of thing. Thank you. Okay, IT, it's an IT support. It's an IT support startup and also involved to the sales of computer. And the IT support essentially means troubleshooting, accessing, and resolving technological problems in networking, hardware, software, and also helping. And we also offer computer services. How we came about? We came about, I would say, we came about lack. That was the time that I was looking for what I can do, and I recall that I was very passionate about computer when I was very little, and that's how I went, and it became finally a passion, and that's how.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bukanye. Thank you for that. I don't know if you're noticing something on the show this evening. It's more of, self-driven passion for Madame Kang, for Madame Kendo Brida. It's equally an induced passion for Mr. Adelot, and for Mr. Bukanye, it is something that came from, what they call in Pidgin Shaggy. Huh? It's something coming from, I think you were in a banga bush. Oh, sorry about that. So, it's very important. Now, Mr. Bukanye, for how long has Intertech been in existence?
It has been 5 years.
For 5 years now. Oh, that's a very long way. So, you have just maybe started. Yours is you're still a newbie, or maybe you're just 1 year old into entrepreneurship. This is a Stofong. He has a lot to tell you. He has so many things to tell you, all the problem, the challenges. Just stay put. He's going to pour it out now. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you. So I would still go to Madame Kendo. What do you have to say about entrepreneurship? What is it about entrepreneurship that makes it difficult for young minds to really venture into?
There may be a lot of things hindering people from getting started with entrepreneurship. One of the things may be the finance to start. Another thing may be the ability to endure the challenges that comes with entrepreneurship. Yeah, another thing may be people just prefer to have 9-to-5 jobs. They don't really want to be business people. They don't want to be at the forefront of a business. Some people just prefer to serve. Yeah, for others, it is fear. Actually, some people are very, very careful when they want to engage into anything they choose to do. They try to consider the risks, and when they see something involve some amount of risks, they just stop there. They don't like to engage. So fear, it's also one thing that hinders people from getting
Fear is one thing that hinders a lot of young minds from delving into entrepreneurship. Mr. Yeah. 5 years of experience is not 5 days. I mean, like, what do you know about entrepreneurship that really kind of frightens or kind of frighten the young minds from delving into entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is spelling, or what is it?
To be sincere, to be an entrepreneur is not easy, not at all. I'm sure all my colleagues can testify it's not easy at all. So one of the things that really I would say is more of a hit to young minds, first is fear. Yes, the very first thing is fear. And secondly is the mindset. Because we're in a nation whereby there are a lot of problems, a lot of trouble. So as you grow, they make you understand the nation is bad, it's terrible, you can do nothing. So you grow with that mindset. And you in your mind you believe that you can't go that far, like who push you there. And the next thing also I've realized is lack of financial maybe capacity. Many have ideas, they don't know how to go about their ideas. Many want to start up a thing, but they don't have what it takes, the money. Let me say more of the money. Yes, so those are the two things I've seen that three things I've seen that are really major barriers to entrepreneurship.
Thank you so much. Finance, fear,
And mindset.
and the mindset. Thank you, Mr. Bo. Mr. Adelot, you've been here since 2018. I mean, as a standalone managing director. What can you say about this entrepreneurship and its frights to young minds?
Okay, in initial sense, what you first of all have to understand who is an entrepreneur, first of all. You need to know that from the word entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur is someone who wants to own a business and is ready to look at no matter the risks for the sake of having form of revenue or money. We can see that. So one of the things, first of all, as my colleague Ella said, there's fear. Secondly, you have to be open-minded. If you are not open-minded and now you have an idea, someone said when you want to venture into a business, you have to ask those who are more than you so that you can know what to add on it that will make you to become peculiar than the others. So one, you have to be open-minded and not allow fear to corrupt your mind.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. There, mentioning risk, meaning that entrepreneurship is characterized by risk taking. Like you have to take a lot of risk in order to succeed in entrepreneurship. Talking about open-minded and seeking mentorship, so that you don't just go as someone who is moving into darkness without light or a lamp. Thank you so much, Mr. David, for that. So, Mr. Philip, you've been into this for 5 years, and I think it was as a student, right?
Yes.
And please, what did you study in the university?
I studied zoology and animal physiology.
Zoology and animal physiology.
Yes.
Please put down your pens and put down your. Please clap for Bro Philip. Please clap for him. Please clap for. It's not easy to do zoology, and what is really delved into is IT. I mean, two worlds apart. I mean, there's no link. How do you bring animals to IT? So, I mean, he deserves an ovation. Thank you so much for coming to share with us again. So now, how did you transition from zoology or from studying zoos, animals, and everything into IT?
Okay, I wouldn't say it's a transition. I would say there was an innate passion. Now, I think all of us have something we all can do. Stress without much stress. So it so happened that when I was still very young, we had computers in the house, and my dad is very stern. That is when if a repairer comes to maybe to do something and you are watching TV, you are in trouble. So you must be there so that if that same problem tends to reoccur, you are supposed to repeat what he did. That's how my dad was. So it made that I was conversant with it. And at times the repairer would not even do it, he would just call on by through phone. And those were in those days where you had Windows 97, Windows 2000, yes. But it was so much that I had crammed the entire activation code for Windows XP. I had crammed it's about 24 letters because it was something I was doing over and over and over and over. So it so happened that when I went to school, back was not having it. So my parents didn't see it as a glorious future. So they said, no, let me better take this turn. And that's how I found myself in zoology. So it was actually, I remember myself, that my friends are in class. I'm in a different place following computer and IT stuff. Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's so fascinating a story there. Madam Kendo, he did zoology. And he is into IT support and everything linked to computer. What did you study in school, please?
Network engineering and security.
Network engineering and security. So probably you should have been maybe the CEO of Intertech. Huh?
I think so.
But now you went into hair products.
Yes.
What's the link, please? How did it come about?
As I mentioned earlier, it came out of a deep passion to break through my personal frustrations and stagnations with my hair care. So I used to have a lot of challenges with my hair. My hair was growing thin and breaking and wasn't growing. As a young Christian lady who loves to wear her natural hair out, I was already in my master's and I was getting to the workplace because at that time I was doing an internship at Uwako there at Bonamusadi. And so it was a very professional place. You have to look good when you come to work. And my hair was not doing good at all. I had used a lot of DIYs. I used clothes water, rice water, a lot of things on the internet. Nothing was working for me. I tried shea butter, bought a lot of things. So I had to do some research to see what was wrong with my hair. I was praying for my hair. My sisters advised me to pray for my hair, but nothing was working. So I had to understand my hair, because the Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So I think God was really willing to help me with my hair, but he needed me to have some knowledge about his creation. My hair was created by God, and he knows everything about my hair, but I need to be able to seek to know what is actually my hair, what does my hair consist of, how does it work, how does it grow. So I had to do some research on all that, and I discovered that the key to growing long, full, and healthy hair is by knowing the ability of one's hair strands to absorb moisture. Yeah, because some people have low porosity hair, that is hair which cannot absorb moisture very well. It has closed cuticles. Others have medium porosity hair. It's hair that does just fine. Others have high porosity hair. It's hair that can absorb moisture very well, but it has difficulty retaining it. So all of these, your hair porosity will determine the kind of products you should be using. But back then, I was just using shea butter, coconut oil. Those things were not working for my hair. My hair was low porosity and needed some certain kinds of products and oils. So when I discovered that, I started applying that principle in my hair care, and I found that it was working. My hair was growing thicker, and people could see the difference in my hair. So once I got that solution with the business mindset I had, I quickly turned that into a business, and this is Green Globe Naturals today.
Thank you so much, Madam Ken. I was just nodding my head like an agama. I guess many audience were doing that. So it's so great a journey, because I think coming from frustration, solution to hair challenges, even going down to pray for the hair.
Natural hair involves taking good care of it. Yes, God wants us to take care of our hair. It is his will that let's take care of our body, and our hair is on our body. So while taking care of our body, we have to take care of our hair as well.
Okay.
So I used to pray that God should give me the grace to take care of my hair. I used to also pray that God should teach me how to take care of my hair the right way. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Kendo. Thank you for that. It's really a great journey. Coming from frustration, getting into prayers, and really birthing an idea. And when it comes as a solution to your own personal problems, you bring now entrepreneurship into it. That's the monetary aspect now.
Yes.
Take it to the people having same problems, and You kind of procure money for yourself. Wow, that's an entrepreneurial mindset there. Thank you so much. Mr. David, did you do something different too in school?
No, in school I studied mechanical engineering, so it is similar to what I'm doing now.
Okay, you did mechanical engineering,
Yeah.
and you're practicing mechanical
Yes,
engineering.
exactly.
Wow, so it's unlike Mr. Munir and Madame Kendo. So that's great. So now, what are some of the inspiration? What are the things that really inspire you or keep you in this line of in this niche that you've chosen?
So as I earlier said before, one of the things that triggered me was the way my dad was. He was someone that loves hard work. And from the beginning of mine, I usually see that it's nice for a young individual to help the parent in whatever they're doing. So I had that passion of always that after school I go to assist my dad, and that's how after advanced level I turned into doing mechanical engineering. So that is that gave that passion, and that's how I grew in it, and I became someone that I am today.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. Just to tell you, audience out there, this is somebody has had, is it 3 people working under you? I mean, he's feeding 3 families. That's at the age of 24, 25 rather. Yeah, 24. Thank you so much. I mean, he equally deserves an ovation. Yeah. Thank you for gracing our show with your presence. Thank you for coming to share from your wealth of knowledge. Now, Mr. Muni, what's this very challenging moment that you faced in your 5 years as an entrepreneur? What is this striking challenge that you really faced?
Okay, please, before you just answer your question, in addition to how we're able to balance the two, from IT to zoology, was the fact that I remember some of my friends, my close friends, they were always telling me like, I'm a genius, because I was able to solve some computer problems, and they were like, I mean, how do you, for me, I saw nothing strange in it. For me, it was something that anybody can do. But they were like, I feel like you should have done IT. I was like, no, it's just something I can do. So I just saw that people were praising me for things that I counted trivial. Like anybody can do these
Yeah.
things. But then I understood that there was actually something a little bit special that I knew that the people didn't know. So that's how it came about. Okay, now for my 5 years, I would say that one of the greatest challenges I have met is managing my finance. That's the greatest challenge I ever faced. How to be able to manage the finance and have it grow geometrically.
Okay.
Yes, without compromising and getting
Yeah.
yes, no go much in the details, but that's actually
Okay.
the greatest challenge I faced.
Financial management for
Yes.
Mr. Bukanye. Thank you. Madam Kendo,
Yes, sir.
you've been here since it's getting to 2 years now
Yes.
as an
yes.
entrepreneur.
Right.
I mean, and you're already doing great. So, what's your challenge? Like, beginning of, I mean, starting off with your business. What is that? Yeah, in front of you that kind of maybe made your ideation to take a very long period.
Actually, from the time I had the idea to the time I started the business was not long, just a
Okay.
period of about 2 months
2 months,
maximum.
okay.
Yes, because I'm this kind of person that when I have something in mind and I pray about it and I feel that God is leading me to do this thing, I don't like to hesitate,
That's
because when I hesitate, that idea dies.
very
And
important.
that time, starting Gleam Globe was very strong. Once I had the idea, I just started conceiving the name of my business. God led me to a scripture. I selected the name Gleam Globe, went ahead to do logo, started writing formulas, started producing, making test products, sending out to people. So from the time I had the idea to the time I started the business was just about 2 months.
Okay, just about 2 months.
Yes.
So, what was the challenge? Why didn't you just start it immediately? Okay, you just started.
Immediately.
When you
When-
got the
when I
vision,
got-
you just started immediately.
When I got the vision, I prayed about it, and I knew that God is leading me to start the business.
Okay, and you.
And then, I mean, from the time I had that vision to start Gleam Globe to the time I launched my brand was just about 2 months.
Okay, just about 2
Yeah,
months.
just about 2 months. When I got it, I started, I started searching for a name for my business. I got the name, got the designer, did the logo. I started researching. I already had an idea about the ingredients I have to use for the product. I started studying hair science, formulation, because I needed to know some chemistry.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm from a chemistry, I'm from a
Science
science background, so at least we tested pH,
Yeah.
all those stuffs in high school. So I had to teach myself how to formulate products within those 2 months.
Okay.
I did not start, I started small actually. I started just with 5 products, now we have 12 products.
Okay.
So it's a good thing to start small. If you want to wait to start big, you never start.
That's right.
You have to start with what you know, and then you progress from there. So once at that time, I was writing formulas, actually. I learned how to develop cosmetic formulas, professional cosmetic formulas. And I do not just want to do the average thing that everyone does.
Of course.
Yes, I wanted to be a little different.
Okay.
So I had to make something that is standard, something that can sell in the international market. But the first products I made were not that. Let me say, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But I progressively improved.
That's right.
And my products today is not like the products I made in August of 2022. A huge difference. But I had to start because while starting, it's by starting that I discovered the errors. I got feedback from clients, and then I continue to improve.
Thank you so much, Madam Kendo. Thank you. I mean, I'll be biased to say that if we don't give you an ovation, because I mean, beginning with 5 products and today, I mean, within the space of not up to 2 years, you're already with 12 products. I mean, it's mind blowing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, the need for feedback too from clients, and equally improving on your products, very important. So she got hers today, and she moved on. She started, from prayers and got a verse.
Yeah,
And
once I got convicted.
yeah, once she got convicted, she moved on. Mr. David, you started in 2018. Is that when the vision came about?
The vision has been since from childhood.
From childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
now
why did you wait till 2018?
I waited since 2018 because by then I was working under my dad to have more ideas on the thing, and also as I was still a student, trying to know things because I wanted to be different from the other people. So I wanted to have a form of uniqueness from them. So the only challenge I faced was after the departure of my dad, to take care of a family of 7 and your mom. So now that's what we call about financial, how to manage your resources. Because there were times I could labor so much, but since I never knew how to manage my resources, I would then find myself having nothing at the end. But after that, now secondly was on how to make your clients believe that you can do it. Because not anybody could, somebody will see you, they might think that no, you cannot do it. But the thing that drove me was that I believe that yes, if I've done this kind of thing before, then anyone that comes my way, I can do it. And that's how I grew on this.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. The challenge, the challenge of, moving over the challenge of thinking that since you're a lad, and many people, most of maybe your clients, they know your father and he is someone of kind of reputation, respectful, and they'll be looking at you as some good-for-nothing boy who cannot really do anything. To come up with that courage to take over responsibilities from your parents. Yeah, that's a great thing there. And I think it's equally a challenge that many equally are facing. The same with maybe Madame Kendo. Mr. Philip, one of your challenges, finance. How did you first of all go about getting this finance before not knowing how to manage it? Because many young entrepreneurs out there just tell us that, in fact, there's no money, I cannot venture into this thing. So how did you first of all get this money?
Now, the thing is, first of all, I was not having it before I began. I was not having much income being sent to me by my parents. It's like at some point my parents abandoned me and they forgot they had a child in Boya. That's how I felt back then, because I was not having enough. So when I began, and God was really blessed, I think I began with 30,000. and it was a birthday gift
Oh wow.
that someone gave me 50,000. I think I removed my tithes. I gave I gave my tithes to go. I think I gave someone something. I removed 10,000 myself, and 30,000 I said I'm going to invest it in my business. And I began. Back then, there were PB laptops, the presidential grants. So what I did was that I printed my flyers and everything, and I posted it everywhere that I'm buying bad PB laptops, because there were many that were bad. And the rumor was that if it's bad, just go and throw it. So I knew that people were giving to me at nothing. So they were giving me all their bad laptops. I will take it, I will fix it, I will rebrand it, like I'm going to make it brand new again, and then I will resell it. Yeah, so I was buying it for nothing and selling it for something. So that's how I began. I became popular because my flyers were almost everywhere in the campus, and people were referring me to their friend. There's this guy that buys bad PB laptops. Go and give him. And not just that, people who felt like they could never fix them, they were bringing them. So my room became popular. So that's how I began, and that's how I was able to make money. But now, how I was not able to manage was because it's like I don't know, like you say, a rich, I don't know, a young, I'm not rich fool. That is, you have money all of a sudden. At first, you could only eat bread and chocolate, but now you can go and buy fish.
Oh no.
So and not just that. Now, now that you have the emotion of money, makes you feel like you can solve any problem.
Kind of
so
surprised with riches.
So you feel like there's a problem there you want to solve. There's a problem here you want to solve. You want to help this person. You want to help that person. So like my brother said, or let me say like one panel said, you find yourself making, like, God really blesses.
Yeah.
But at the very end, you're surprised that, this is all I'm left with. And they're surprised that money surely got missing. But when you cross-check your expenditures, you realize that you misused your finance.
Wow. I like the idea behind you raising your income for your business. That's just going about telling people to give you bad PV laptops and you repair and you sell for huge sums of money. And I mean, it's sad to say that maybe you kind of, it's an experience. Life happens, though you maybe.
At that we went as far as we use kind of local means. We will take the cover of it. We will take our iron sponge.
Okay.
I will take soap, wash it very well.
Yeah.
Then put maybe some lotion and make it shine. And if I can't, I'll go and buy what they call laptop stickers.
Yeah.
I will dress it so well that when you look at it, my God, you just want to get it.
That's so innovative. Thank you so much, Mr. Bukanyi. Thank you for that idea on how to raise. So you could have the idea, but then you have to, you could equally use your idea to raise up money for what you really want to build, maybe for another person. Miss Kendo, Madam Kendo?
Yes.
He used PB. So how did you get your customers? Did you snap your hair that was bad and made you to pray to God before?
Okay.
And now the hair that is at now, after you've used your products, how did you go about getting your clients that really paid off?
So before I started the business, a few months before I started the business, I actually had a natural hair coaching group. I started by having a natural hair coaching group because, before I started the business, I already had knowledge about hair care. So I was sharing that knowledge for free. I built a coaching group that was Dynamic Hair Solutions. I had a lot of ladies in there. I was helping them. I saw that they had a lot of problems in that group, and that's even what inspired me the more to launch my brand, because a lot of them wanted for us to base products they could not get. So I already knew from my coaching group that would be a great place for me to launch my brand. I also use, friends and family members, the people that knew my hair before and saw my hair after were really convinced about my solutions, and they were ready to pay money for it.
Thank you so much. That's a great point there. Being on WhatsApp for a purpose, on Telegram or Facebook for a purpose. She was in a group. She shared her ideas, free of charge, and she saw that the problems, and it kind of served as a census, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you knew that, okay, too many people have this problem. It means it could be a source of income. That was great. It's laudable. Congratulations once more. Mr. Ade, David, How did you get, I mean, in 2018, when you just kind of, you were now a standalone managing director, how did you manage these clients? I mean, who are some of these clients that came, which you saw them to be kind of some prospective clients, and how did you manage them?
Yes, as I earlier said, when they came, you have to first of all convince them they can do it. So when you're able to repair or you're able to do the job that the person wants you to do, then from then you'll be able to tell somebody else that the young man that you think that cannot do what you think he can do, but he has done it and mine is already working well. And also I shared it on Facebook and on WhatsApp. Many saw what I was doing and they were saying, "Can you do this?" And I said yes. From then people who I never knew came to my place, and that's how I started expanding.
So publicity worked out for everyone. It worked out for Mr. Muni, it worked out for Madame Kendo, it equally worked out for you, and which is a great thing. So you out there, you want to go into entrepreneurship, and you think that maybe you just have to be in your room somewhere, and God is going to point out one touch from heaven, such that everybody sees. Huh? You have to do publicity. It's very, very important. Yeah, you could maybe use Madame Kendo's strategy, that's going out, sharing that idea for free. I mean, it equally helps you to carry out census. How many people really need your idea, need the solution that you have? You could equally go by the courageous means of Mr. Adelot David, that is going an extra mile to make sure that anybody who brings a problem to you, you get a solution to that. You could equally use Mr. Bokanye's solution, that's or a strategy, that is using your idea to make your money first, to bring up your financial structure before really establishing the structure in itself. Those are so many great points there. So Mr. David, you're working with 3 people. How did you come about? Is it from Facebook that you got them, or is it about your good work? I mean, craftsmanship that brought them close to you? How did you get them?
It's about my good work as they saw how I do the thing, the way I do it. So it drove them to get my attention that they really want to have an idea about what I'm doing. So I might also help them.
Okay, so it's more of the good work. I mean, of course, what you do with your hands, which is great, is going to pull kings and queens to yourself. That's great. CEO, founder of Intertech, Mr. Bukanyo Philip. Now, how did you get the person, or to build your team? You are not to succeed in entrepreneurship. You are not going to be an island. You should have a team with. How do you build this relationship? How did you come about? How did it come about?
Okay, it came as a result of trust.
Okay.
Yes, trust, and I would say to visibility, like just as he said, showing fruits
Okay.
and being promising in what you do. Okay, someone can actually see a future working with you,
Okay.
and someone can believe that yes, you may not pay me what it takes now,
Yeah.
but I can assure you tomorrow you'll be happy having never put a hand into this structure.
Thank you so much. The place of trust in entrepreneurship, I mean, it's so cemented. It has its place. And equally productivity, yeah, you make sure that you are productive. And at the end of the day, maybe the person could be minimizing you at the very start, but make sure that satisfaction is there at the end of every service that you offer. Madam Kendo,
Yes.
what do you have to say about he spoke about productivity. He equally spoke about his results, put money to himself, and he has a community now. How did you build your community? Did you kind of did you call for a town cry?
Do you mean a community of like customers?
Yeah,
or
a community,
a team?
a team that you work with, because of course you don't, do you produce your products? I mean,
Yeah,
get them from-
basically,
okay,
I'm alone. I'm working like.
no, I mean products that you use to produce your hair products,
Oh, okay. You mean like
the
suppliers?
materials. Yeah.
Okay.
How did you go about it?
I did like a lot of research. Honestly, the suppliers I had in 2022 are not the same suppliers that I have
Okay,
now,
okay.
because I choose to. So So I do a lot of research. Research is like a hobby to me.
Okay.
I have to say that. So I found like suppliers on Instagram, some on website. I mean, just Google searching, some on Facebook and different places. So I get like little quantities of their products, test them to see if it actually works, and then I start using them in my business as well.
Okay.
So that's how I got suppliers and the people I work with.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm add to that.
Yeah.
Personally also, because one of our slogans is to be able to have computers that can be affordable even to the, I will not call it poorest, but the person who has the least finance. And one of the ways we were able to reach to them was having a positive mindset. Like at times you may believe that this price, you can never have it at this price, but never giving up. Like I remember at times just telling myself, let me search. There is someone somewhere and get it for. And if I know it, I find someone, and that's how we have very great. Because one thing I've really helped me and my supplier is friendship. Always build such a great friendship that they can easily attend to me and meet my satisfactions.
I mean, if I have to be permitted to say that, I know Mr. Bukanye, he's a very friendly person. I mean, he's a man of the people. So I think it helped him to really build that team. I mean, to work with, which is a great thing. So you out there, probably you have maybe on Facebook 5,000 followers or even more, and you are not really using it to kind of build a brand for yourself or something that could procure money for you. This is an inspiration out here for you. You have that, you're kind of that attractive person, right? You pull men to yourself even without a word. I mean, you could use that to bring clients to yourself. It's so great a point. Thank you so much, Mr. Philip. Thank you, Mr. Ade Divine, for David for that. Thank you, Madam Kendo. So at this point, keep your questions coming. Keep your comments coming. We are going to take a very brief break now. We will be right back.
T.
Have you heard of the quest?
The quests have been going on and you have not once come to it. I'm telling you, you're missing something.
It focuses on God's word, panel discussion, debates that relate in all aspects of life, financially, physically, spiritually, medically, etc.
Don't fall for the trap. You can't afford to miss the quest.
The quest is a very wonderful show that has begun. It's a train that has begun, and you need to join this train and be on the quest.
The Quest is a structure that happens every Sunday
at 1800 GMT.
It goes live on Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook, which is on Deeper Life Bible Church Cameroon, and on YouTube, which is DCLL Cameroon.
It covers every aspect of life that you can imagine.
I am expecting to see you there. Meet here this Sunday.
The Quest Show.
Q U E S T.
Have you heard of The Quest?
The quests have been going on and you have not once come to it. I'm telling you, you're missing something.
It focuses on God's word, panel discussion, debate that relate in all aspects of life, financially, physically, spiritually, medically, etc.
Don't fall for the trap. You can't afford to miss The Quest.
The Quest is a very wonderful show that has begun. It's a train that has begun, and you need to join this train and be on the quest.
The Quest is a structure that happens every Sunday
at 1800 GMT.
It goes live on Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook, which is on Deeper Life Bible Church Cameroon, and on YouTube, which is DCLL Cameroon.
It covers every aspect of life that you can imagine.
I am expecting to see you there. Meet here this Sunday.
The Quest Show.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you for not leaving. We can see Philo Ocean is watching. We see Lilian Pabwe is watching from Douala. We see Sophia Anna. We see Stanley Emakpor is watching. We see Julius Sama. We see Ambles Casey. We see Mbando Hobbits and lots more. Thank you for following. Keep your reactions coming. Thank you for your reactions still. Thank you for your contribution. I can see someone saying that entrepreneurship is very tasking. I can see saying that there's no time for oneself as a boss. Thank you for that. Yeah, of course, we already said that entrepreneurship is not a child's play, so you are supposed to kind of fasten your belt before really delving into it. It's not just a bed of roses. You're not just supposed to go there. And so, right, and now I'm going to break the rule. Miss Kendo, you're going to pardon me. This time it's going to be men, maybe gentlemen before ladies. So, yeah, it's going to be gentlemen now. So, Mr. Ade Lot,
Yes.
how do you balance being an entrepreneur with your Christian life and your social life and every other aspect of your life? Do you just go maybe living your Christian life as an entrepreneur? Because I know entrepreneurs, they manage their money. But when they preach giving, how do you give? How do you live like?
No, in the normal sense, as an entrepreneur, the first driving force, first of all, that makes you unique is when you are born again.
Okay.
When you are born again, you have the fear of God in you. It makes you that whenever there is something in church, you have that burden in you that you feel that it's nice for me to give for the glory of God. So if you start taking your business more than the spiritual things, then you're not ready to move ahead. But the more you serve God with all your heart, He also blesses you. That is what drives me in everything I do.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ade. As a Christian, it gives you an edge over every other entrepreneurs because you are believing in God. God is the one that gave you the idea, and you are acknowledging Him in all your ways, as Proverbs says. Mr. Bukanye, do you equally acknowledge God in all your ways and even in your money? So how do you?
Yes, I do. I do something which I really, really do. I really, really do. And for me, and one of my reasons to be an entrepreneur is that's for myself. God needs money. He really needs money, and the work of God needs money. and the children of God need money. The financial demands for the people of God is very high. And for me, that's a boost to be an entrepreneur. And that's one of the major boosting factors that I believe that I'll be among the richest in the country, so as to help the work of God to go forward. God's work should not just be suffering, and to raise up 100,000 or 1,000,000, we need to motivate people like we're asking for, which is something which the rich get it. It's like for them it's nothing. Like I said, that what 10 of us can gather, fast and pray for 3 days, someone can give that as a tithe, stress free. So I think that for me that's been a major push and a major pull. If I say how I've been able to balance my entrepreneurship life and Christian life, we say it's not easy. I would say discipline. I want to have to even go and read books, like I read Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. I'm listening to podcasts, even listening at time to messages online. How to be able to, and I had to get myself, had new culture, yes, and get myself, even have a to-do list, what I have to do at this time, so that I'm able to carry on all my activities and be fruitful in all directions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bukanye. Thank you. The place of discipline, very, very important. Equally, studying, that's from those who have gone ahead of you. I mean, reading books too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very, for me, I think it's very, very, one of the most important things in my life is to, to acquire knowledge. Because I believe that if I knew a lot by now, I'll not be there now. I'll be a billionaire.
I think if I'm permitted to equally say that, you have my support to becoming the richest person in the country.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Kendo Breather. Now, what do you have to say about how do you balance your social, spiritual, and every other aspect of your life with this entrepreneurship?
Okay. I think...
Marital too, of course.
Yes, academical too.
Yeah.
So, one thing that gives me an advantage is I have control over my time as an entrepreneur. And that's one thing I love about entrepreneurship. And as a Christian lady who loves God, and my utmost priority is to serve God. All the, the businesses and all the things we are doing, they don't really count as treasures in heaven. Our spiritual life is more important than any other thing. So I have the control over my time. I have my times to pray. We have services. I make sure entrepreneurship has really helped me to even give more to the Lord, to the service of the Lord, because I'm a master's student. I don't go to school full time. So right now I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I don't have a 9 to 5. So I can put out time to actually serve the Lord. Like services, I'm there. I know that I work from this time to this time. When it's service time, I go to church. So I don't allow business to take God's place in my life. That's one thing, because I strongly believe that my business is built on the foundation of faith. Faith is an ingredient in all of our hair products. You see it on our labels, faith. And so I know that without God, my business is nothing. And so I'm not going to put business over God. It's not going to work. If I do that, my business may fail, because my business is a Christian business. Everybody know that we have God in our business name and everything. So I make sure that I hold on to God, because He's my inspiration. He's the one that gives me success in my business. And so my spiritual life, I try to always keep it in check. And by God's grace, He's been helping me, and my business has been flourishing.
Thank you so much, Madam Kendo. Thank you for that. The place of discipline and always and having mastery over your time. I mean, control over your time. Time shouldn't control you. And equally knowing that everything that you have is because God gave you. So God is the priority, and service to Him is equally the priority. Yeah, I can see Mr. Bukanye. I mean, like I said, he's had 5 years of experience, so he should have a lot to tell us. So, Mr. Bukanye, please.
Yes, just to say that, for example, like I said, I call myself a godly made entrepreneur. Just to say that spirituality for me is not an obligation for me. For me, it's like a mentorship class. Meaning, I get inspiration from God. I get There are times that, to be sincere, you are really hitting, you are really facing deep challenges, to be sincere. And it's at some point you just feel like just leaving it, just go and find one job, do, and have peace of mind. But it is the scriptures where I find comfort. When I remember what God says about me, what He says where He's going to take me, it gives me more confidence.
Yeah.
And not just that, in the place of prayer, I have confidence and hope that I will surmount most of the challenges. And not just that, it gives me a lot of joy when I know that the Lord is backing me up.
Yeah.
And much more than that, for me, God is the greatest entrepreneur for me, because I believe that if God made the earth was without form and void, and was able to build all of these things, and not just that, I've taken note that there is almost never one phase that is repeated.
Yeah.
Like, you never see one person with the same face, like God repeated. So if God is able to make a billion phases, I mean, God is so innovational. You see, I mean that even God knows how to keep us entertained with new faces every second.
Yeah, and
Who
knowledge
does-
keep increasing.
I mean, who does that? So for me, spirituality is that's where I draw. In fact, that's my bedrock. Without it, I will fail even today.
Oh.
So for me, that's how much it helps me.
I mean, it's so inspirational. It's so fantastic, the point you raise, the importance of God in entrepreneurship. I mean, He has His place. He has His place.
Definitely
He has His place.
Because
Like
if by His wisdom He made the earth, I believe that for me, I personally believe that knowing what God knows makes me exceptional.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Philip, for that. Thank you all for having to tell us how you balance your entrepreneurial life with your social life, your spiritual life, and telling us equally that God has its place in everything we do. God is there. I should never say that I was over entrepreneurial to a point where I didn't really recognize God in my life, or maybe I kind of kept God aside because I was so overwhelmed by entrepreneurship. So God has His place, and we should acknowledge God in all our ways, as Scripture says, and He is going to carry us wherever we really want to get to. So the next thing now is Madam Kendo.
Yeah.
You've been here for 2 years now.
Yes.
You came into this business. I mean, Glim Globe Naturals and hair products have been there. I mean, since from when I came. I mean, when I gained consciousness, I've been using hair. I've been using hair products. I've been using lotions. And now, how do you keep up with innovations and the competitions that you find in your industry?
Yeah, in the industry, there are a lot of hair care brands. Before I started, there were hair care brands. But, you know, people are out there looking for products that actually work. Because you have a lot of products in the market today, but do they really do the job? Do they really nourish the hair strands? That's one thing I took into consideration. And one other thing I took into consideration is that there is a lot of guesswork in the hair care business. There is a lot of guesswork. So you see, a customer can get into a shop and is looking for a hair product for her hair, and there are so many hair products in front of her. She doesn't know which one will actually work unless she tries, right? So at Glim Globe Naturals, I said it earlier, we believe that the key to maintaining healthy hair is to know the ability of one's hair to absorb and retain moisture. We have used that principle of science to take the guesswork out of hair care. So we can actually welcome our customers, help them to run a porosity test to know what hair porosity they have before recommending products to them. So while we are giving them these products, we actually know that these products work for them. That's one thing we have done to step up our game. The other thing is we are building on quality. Quality is very important to have effective products. We are using non-toxic ingredients, naturally derived ingredients, or plant-based, and safe to use for everyone. Yes.
Thank you so much, Kendo, for using toxic products. I mean, it was so fascinating when you said one of the ingredients for your product is fake.
Yes.
I mean, I've never seen a hair product we don't know its ingredient as fake. Oh, that's so great there. I mean, a Christian in his normal sense is seeing phosphate as an ingredient on a hair product should go for that first because it's the substance of things hoped for. You're hoping that your hair should grow. So you should go for that first. Oh wow, that's so great. Mr. David, you took over in 2018. What are some of the innovations that you've brought? I mean, that gives you an edge over your competitors.
Normally, in the world where we are now, there's a lot of competition among co-laborers. So, what makes me unique, first of all, as I said, is first of all believing in God that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, there are many times that work might be difficult for others, but when it comes to my side and I see that many have attempted this, then I go in my closet and I say, God, help me as I'm about to embark on this. Tell me what to do, direct me. And immediately when I start doing the work, and by the end of it, I'll see that what was difficult for the others, I succeeded over it. Now I also added how to design spare parts. Others they just know how to go and purchase, but they don't know how to bring out something when that does not exist. So that's how I came about with doing of treadings, creating of boats, and some other things that added to my own place that makes others that instead of them to go far, instead of me to have them, because at times that when you are working, the time that you take maybe 2 hours to finish a particular job, because you are going from here, then you lose almost 5 hours. But when you have everything at your disposal, then you have to make sure to do everything at ease. So those are the things.
Mr. David is citing a great point there. Time is very, very important in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
You shouldn't just go moving aimlessly or kind of wasting time in entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Exactly.
And equally a point which he raised is that productivity, producing
you have to be
is
creative.
very, very important in entrepreneurship, because when you purchase, it's the person that has produced what you are purchasing that has more profit than you who purchases. Now, so when you go producing, you get a lot of income from there. Mr. Bukanyi, I mean, you've been nodding your head. I mean, a lot of stuffs. So how do you really keep yourself different in this industry of repairs and, I mean, support?
Okay. IT support, not really repair, so that kind of different.
Okay, support.
Yes.
And troubleshooting.
Yes, and solving. So one thing that keeps me really, because one thing is that I'm hybrid. Hybrid means that I work remotely.
Okay.
Yes, and I work remotely and I work directly from home. You see, due to the huge capital needed. You see, to just bring everything to surface. So one thing I started was to work remotely and hybrid. And one of the things that really, really been helping me to stand out, one is trust. Yes, trust. And so too is quality. When I mean trust, most of my customers know me. They love they love my ability to be sincere and to be truthful and to do their work effectively. And the next way too is productivity. And the third thing that really helps me stand out from my customers is knowledge. I usually do as much as I can to update my knowledge on in my field. I study, get some courses, go online, always try to get new stuff and try to get how can I solve national problems, company problems, how can I solve these problems, and that's how I get myself to get new knowledge that can get me new clients and all of that, and gets me apart from my contemporaries or my maybe those that competitors. Thank you very much. And the next thing also, which has really helped me also too, is innovation in what times. Personally, what I do is that I grant my customers almost a lifetime support, meaning that as a customer, you can't buy something from me and you complain and I ignore your message. I respond to you as fast as I can, no matter how raw or how troublesome it is. Even if it means for me to pay my transport, come to your house, do it. I do it for free, just to make sure you are constantly satisfied. And that has helped me to have a lot of referrals. I mean, one time I wanted to travel to Bafusam on my own course, just to make sure my customer does not complain. So that's one of the things that has really kept me and has been able to open me doors before great people and all of that. So
wow, that's so great. The place of trust in entrepreneurship is very, very important, and equally being that person who has the well-being of people at heart. That's not just the money, but first that the people should live, they should be satisfied, they should live well, They should have their gadgets, performing the task they desire. That's so great. It's so great a point there, which maybe many out there equally don't really have. Still with you, Mr. Bukani. Years of about that is rewarding, but you have to keep hitting hard on that challenge.
Now, the truth about it is that having the idea is one thing, or to be sincere, when you have the idea, you fix it in your mind. Now, not to keep the fact that I have failed before. Now, before Intake Tech, I'd added Intake Rental. And I remember our flat had gone, we had Intake Tech, we had Intake Rental, we had the team, we had our ad videos, and everything was, our flyers had gone everywhere. We were 4. Yes, the team was made up of 4. But at the long, we had 2 years. And then I personally had to close it, even though I was like, see, we cannot continue. At the rate at which it goes, we will not be able to cope. Yes. So, just to say that entrepreneurship is really, really demanding. Being able to satisfy, to bring what the people need, it's the main challenge. Because human beings are one of the most complicated species on earth. You can't satisfy them with one thing. So be able to modify your concept to the level at which they will need it. And most of the times you may feel like it's bringing the price low. I realize it's not really it. You can even bring your price to 5 francs, they'll not buy. Or even to 1 franc. On the contrary, you're having the troublesome clients. You see. But on the contrary, the next person sells the same thing, even for 20,000, and the people go and buy and they don't complain. So to some point you realize that it's meeting the exact need of what the people need itself. And that does not just come by imagination. It don't just come by just doing one thing. It comes by a lot of innovation. It comes by a lot of studies, mentorship, getting advice, getting so much from my personal experience. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bukanye. Thank you. Really getting, the exact solution, a particular solution to a particular need that a client has.
And that's when I will praise the people like Steve Jobs. We praise. It's not easy. To be sincere, you feel like it's easy, but to be able to constantly keep your customers for many years and they are faithful. See, it's not bonbon.
I think this is a reason the reason why people, every entrepreneur has his or own definition to entrepreneurship, because you see things differently, and of course you have to define it in a different way too. Mr. Ade David, how can you what do you have to say to what Mr. Philip has said?
Okay, what I can add on that is, first of all, for the years I've been so far, what you need to do, you need to be consistent in what you are doing. Consistency is a very great key. But if you start somewhere and you stop, then that is going to disturb you a lot. Okay. And secondly, you have to always be innovative, be open-minded, as Ella said. Means be current to what is happening, like how maybe digital things have added. See where to add digital skills on your domain. See where to use whatever you see that is useful, so that it can help you to expand. And also you have to make your customers to trust you to a certain degree. That is also what is very important, because many just go for the financial, for money. But when you're able to make them to know that yes, you're not working for money, but you satisfy them until even when they complain, you're able to attend to their needs. That a lot makes them to confide in you, until that sometimes they can even send their work to you without their parents. They know that you will not cheat them. At the end, you give them every detail and everything goes on. So those are the things that are very important.
The aspect of building trust keep repeating itself over and over again. It's very, very important to be trustworthy as an entrepreneur. It's very, very much important. Madam Kendo.
Yes.
What do you have to say about, he's spoken about consistency, about getting yourself updated. Yes, and amongst other challenges. Now, what is this challenge that you faced in your 2 years as an entrepreneur that is rewarding? You have to keep hitting, surpassing this challenge. It keeps surfacing. You go over it, it keeps surfacing. What is this challenge that you really go over? Over and over again.
All right, I can say the first challenge is content creation. For my business, creating content is a key in having clients. in sending out, pushing forth your business to the market. In these days we live in is kind of very digital. Our clients are on the media, and in order to reach out to our clients on the media, we have to create content that are good to view.
Yeah.
Not just
Eye-catching.
eye-catching. Thank you. So I'm not I'm not a camera person. But because I have a business that needs to sell, I have products at home that don't have to remain on the shelves.
That's
I need to go out there, out of my comfort zone, to start making videos, tutorials on hair care, publicities and all that. That's been one challenge in my business, and I'm actually on it. I can say I just break through that challenge, and I'm creating contents now. I have to do it as a small business person. We don't yet have the finance. We are not at the level where we can recruit someone to do that for us. Yes, because we are still trying to build the customer base. So I have to do it myself now. And that's what I am actually doing. Another thing is the ability to be resilient. I've noticed that throughout my 2 years as an entrepreneur, I constantly have to remind myself that I have to be resilient, because there are a lot of challenges. You receive negative feedback from customers, because not everybody will give a positive feedback.
Appreciate.
Your products will not work on everybody. There are always exceptions, and customers can be very aggressive, especially when they buy a product that does not meet their expectations, or maybe there is some delay in processing, delivery and all that. So one thing I've got to learn is how to respond to clients, and that's one thing that the Lord has really taught me. We are here for money, and our customers are the people that give us that money. So as a business person, I try to be very, very humble. As long as you're going to give me money, you can you can step on me. Yes.
Yeah.
I try to, as long as it's not seen, they are not like hurting me in any way. I take upon myself to absorb their pressure. Sometimes customers can be harsh on you. You have to absorb. You have to be kind. You have to be gentle. You don't have to give back in anger like they give to you, because you need their money. If you don't get that money, your business will fall. You see. So you need to learn. I've gotten customers that sometimes they are very, very annoying, and they think that I'm going to respond back. And later on, at the end of it, they give my money and they're like, "You're so patient." And that's how they refer me to others. And they actually like that attitude.
And they
So
really
that's
fail
one-
to understand that you were patient because of the money.
We have to learn it as a business person. So there is the need to be resilient. There'll be a lot of challenges, but to stay in business, you have to be able to know how to face these challenges and remain consistent, just like Mr. D.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Kendo. Thank you for resilience in entrepreneurship. Thank you for equally being up to date. Thank you for equally revealing content creation as an entrepreneur. I mean, in our times now, everything is more digital than analog. So you have to kind of create contents that are eye-catching, that could equally be used to present your products to the public. And as they keep on, putting their eyes on your products, that desire to purchase is going to come up, and you're going to get your money. And equally being humble, to the latter. That's equally just being humble to the point where you could even become the floor that people tread on, and for you to just get your money and you move on. So you don't go back telling them things. So it's very great. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, David. Thank you, Mr. Pukanye Philip. Thank you. You've shared a lot. Thank you. The God's, is it, what do you say? Is it God's entrepreneur?
Godly entrepreneur.
The godly entrepreneur. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Kendo. Thank you, Madam Kendo, for all what you've shared here on the quest this evening. Thank you for, what has really marked me about you, I would not forget, is that your product has an ingredient called faith. Wow, that's so great. I mean, it's so fascinating and it's a great one. Thank you so much for coming. We're hoping to have you again next time on the Quest Show. Thank you so much. So our audience out there, thank you for being there. Thank you for not leaving. Thank you for being there. We have a rendezvous next Sunday, same time, and same venue, same everything. Just make it a date with us every 7 p.m. every Sunday. And our upcoming program is, as you can see on the screen, Sunday the 23rd June. That's June 23rd, 2024. We have the Quest Got Talent. So we are presenting to you the Quest Got Talent on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. And that will still be live here in our studios in Douala. So make it a date with us. I mean, inspiring music, talents that are striking are going to be presented on the show here. I mean, you're going to see fascinating talents that can move you off your seat dancing for the Lord. I mean, just make it a date with us and you're not going to regret it. Thank you. Till next Sunday. Bye-bye.